Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tiffany and I make content on intentional living. And today I'm launching a new series on my channel where I'm going to be making micro upgrades to my home every week. But before I jumped into that, I thought it'd be good to show you guys what I've done so far and how much I spent. And you guys can decide if I've been good with my budget or not. Okay, the first place we're going to start is here in my entryway. This was the first project that I got into. And I'm going to try to go through this really quickly because I have a ton of numbers to go over with you guys. I'm a numbers girl. I'm doing this on a budget. So I definitely want to be transparent and show you guys everything that I've spent and see if you guys think that I've actually been doing this on a budget. And I'll be super curious to see how you guys feel about the total numbers so far. I feel like for what I'm trying to do, build my dream home, I think I'm doing pretty good so far, but we'll see what you guys think. In the entryway, I got these frames here on the side. There's a set of 3, and I'll try to add in clips of the space as well so you guys can see it a little bit better, even though I do have a full video on this makeover. And that was $92.99. These hooks right here were $25.95. This mirror, which I'm obsessed with, was a Home Goods find, and that was $179.99. I got a duck print over here for $2.45. Again, I'm going to add in clips for you guys to see. This console here was from Amazon for $151.17, and I have a floor standing lamp here that was $150. And then I did paint this hallway as well. The paint was $40, but I forgot to add that into these numbers, which actually the total without the paint is $602 on the entryway. So if you add in the paint, it is $642 on the entryway. And honestly, with the console being $150 and the mirror being $200, I'm pretty happy with that price. I get a lot of compliments when I have people over in the entryway, having it put together and having it very nice and styled. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think about this room, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the other one because we have a lot of space to cover. Okay, if you guys have been following me on short form, this is the closet where I spent 14 straight days decluttering it. I'm getting it ready for this video. I'm very proud to be showing off that it's clear right now. I really wanted to do it in a way where everything had a home. That's why I wanted to have all these drawers here. That was really important to me because I have a lot of little small things. I'm a crafter, and I don't know, I just tend to kind of gather up a bunch of small little things. All these drawers were really important to me. But with that being said, the frames, again, I did a little collage there on the side, and I will put in some frames for you guys to see. Those were $70. That was really important to me because I really wanted to do a gallery wall. I thought it was just really, really cute to have the mini frames in there. The cube storage on top was $54.83. It is the smaller, more flimsy ones, but the larger size cubes just didn't fit in the closet. The bins were $4.97 each, and I just bought a couple white ones. The drawers were $108 each, so that's $216 for those pair of drawers. I got those at Home Depot. And then the label pockets in the front of those drawers were $7.99, and I got those on Amazon. This door rack here I had from my previous home that I brought with me. I actually never ended up using that one, so it was brand new in the box for me to use here. That brings our grand total for the closet at $415. I'm realizing now I forgot the paint again, but I only used a quart for this, so you can probably just add another $25 on top of that. I was going to wallpaper in here, but I decided that it wasn't worth the extra money and effort. I just went for a bold color that I would never do in the rest of my house, and I think it's cute and fun to open it and see a cute berry color in there. This powder room is a really tight fit, and the door is in the way, so it's really hard to film. I'm sorry if this is not a good angle. This is the room that I have by far done the most work in so far. Once I had this wallpaper picked out, I just hit the ground running. I just wanted this so bad. I've just always had this vision of having this beautiful powder bath. Once the vision kind of hit me, it was just, I had to get it done. But let's go ahead and get into the numbers. Wallpaper glue, $32.96. Wallpaper, $100. Wallpaper tools, $25.87. Base cabinet. Our house came with a pedestal sink. We actually put in this cabinet, and it's the same company as our kitchen cabinets. I wanted to make sure it matched, especially because we're still on the base floor. Again, that cabinet was $257.93. I found that countertop and sink resold on OfferUp. I got both of them combined for $80. The faucet was from Amazon for $60. The light I got open box on Amazon for $60.70. Towel ring $9.17. Toilet paper holder $12.10. Cabinet hardware $23.82. Sconces were $50. Mirror was $140. Shelves were $20. Frames were $40. Paint was $20. Wall boards and trim were $90. And again, this is the most polished room in my house so far, and this room came to a grand total of $1,023.55. But I love, love, love this room. I'm so proud of it. I get so many compliments on it. Everybody loves going in there, and the $1,023 was well worth it for me. And honestly, for this highly of a styled room, $1,000, especially with new cabinetry and things like that, is a really good deal. When I try to research comparisons to it, a bathroom like this can easily go for more than $5,000. I really do think $1,000 for this style of a bathroom is a really good budget. Moving right along to the living room. This one was also expensive too because it has the TV and the couch, and those were pretty expensive. The couch was $1,012, and I needed a very particular size because I do not have a super wide living room. Otherwise, it was going to cut off the walkway, and I did not have a ton of options for couches. And honestly, $1,000 for a couch was on the more fair side for pricing. And I'm pretty happy with the quality and the size of it. So I'm pretty happy with it being $1,012. This rug is $46. That bookshelf I got on OfferUp for $10. The TV is a Samsung frame TV for $1,408. And then you'll see that there's some gold around it. That's just washi tape that I saw somebody doing on TikTok. And I got that on Amazon for $2. The IKEA floating TV stand was $204. There's a chandelier above me for $60 that I got half off. The light bulbs, I wanted candlelight light bulbs so they flicker like candles. And I spent, even though the chandelier was $60, I spent $52 on those. And that puts us at the grand total for the living room, $2,794. For us, the kitchen really is the heart of the home. This is definitely where we spent the most money so far. To kick things off, the first thing we spent money on was the stools here. I got 3 from Home Depot for $546.14. We got a new refrigerator. Ours came with a standard stainless steel side by side, but I knew I wanted white appliances, and that was $1,003. On my stove and my refrigerator, you'll see that I have bronze knobs and handles. Those did not come with these appliances. They're from the Cafe series by GE, and I purchased those separately. And those were $250 for both pulls and all the knobs. And that's actually, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but they actually sell for closer to $500. And I got these on eBay for half the price. If I was to get the Cafe white range, it would have been over $3,000. And I got this range here for $1,062. I spent more on the handles. I didn't even really spend more, but I saved a lot on the stove, and it has a lot of the same features. It sounds like a lot, but I swear in comparison to the stuff that I was trying to mimic, it's a fraction of the price. And then I have a Thermador dishwasher. I used to work for an appliance company. This was an old model that was in the warehouse, and it's actually a $2,400 dishwasher, but I got it for $600, and it's panel ready too. I haven't put the panel on. I'm going to, and obviously that style, $600 is a really good price, and it lights up pink, which I'm really excited about. Let's see. The pulls for the cabinets, these cabinets are the builder cabinets that came with the house, and it didn't come with any hardware. And this is getting technical, but again, I used to work for a luxury appliance place, and they sold cabinets. Unfortunately, I know too much about cabinets, and these are not full overlay cabinets. I know that they look like cheaper cabinets, and I really wanted to dress them up with nice hardware. And this has a really pretty reeded detail on the handle that I have been in love with ever since I saw this handle in our showroom. It's by Top Knobs. And on our drawers, I wanted to mix up the style, and I did a matching cup handle, which kind of gave me the look that I was going for. I did spend a lot of money on the hardware. The hardware was $250, but I'm really happy with my decision because I think it really elevates the kitchen. And even though these aren't full overlay cabinets, I think it really does elevate the style. The hood, we did all this upgrade ourselves. This was a microwave hood before, and there was no backsplash. Again, I partnered with the cabinet company that I used to work for. They just happened to do the cabinets for our Lennar, which our home is Lennar home. And I was able to get this hood. I got this hood for $110. And then the hood insert, that was just for the wood frame. And then the fan insert on the inside, I got from Amazon, and that was $162. And then I put this shelf here. I really wanted to do a marble shelf with those pawn looking brass rail things. But when I looked into it, it was just going to be really, really expensive to get a piece of marble the size that I needed. And the brass pawns and things like that were going to be expensive. I think the shelf all in was going to be $150, which is fair for what it is. But that's just not what I was going for. So I actually found this shelf at Hobby Lobby, and I painted it with white barbecue paint. You know how you can go to Home Depot and get the black barbecue paint to repaint your barbecue? I put that on the shelf to make it more heat resistant. And it's held up really well. I don't really cook on my back burners. This does put off some heat from the stove, but there really hasn't been any problems. I do make sure when I'm cooking, I touch it and check it once in a while, and I've never had any issues. And I don't broil anything either, so I'm not putting off a ton of heat. My husband always kind of makes a joke at me that I cook everything on 350. We're not really putting off a ton of heat over here. And then over on my coffee bar, I have a microwave for $118. And then I did the backsplash myself. By the time you calculate the tile, which I spent $100 on, and then the mortar and grout was another $50 for the backsplash. And then before we head out, there's just a couple things to the garage, but I do want to mention the flooring. This is a new construction home, and I didn't opt for any upgrades. I did not want to pay anything extra from the builder. I just got the most minimum basic everything that they would let me get. I just got like the cheapest possible carpet, and I got laminate flooring. We ripped that out and we put in LVP. We did that ourselves, and the flooring cost $1,117. And within that dollar amount, we were also able to do the laundry room, and that number is not going to be in the laundry room number. That is just going to be in this flooring number. And then we do have about a box or so left over because I would like to do our primary bath and probably our secondary bath in that flooring as well. Oh, and the curtains were $175. Okay, we are out in the garage now, and there's not a ton of stuff to go over, but I do want to mention it now because it is something we are going to circle back in our weekly upgrade video. I did want to talk about what we've done so far. We do have a mini split for out here because this is going to be my husband's man cave. We have it and it's mostly set up, but we need 2 more things for it, so we haven't completely done that. It's not been super high on our priority list because he hasn't spent a ton of time out here since we've had our baby, but hopefully we are going to get around to that soon, and he will be able to have that for next summer. We have carpeted our garage again because it's going to be a man cave, and it's $400 for the carpet. My refrigerator inside, if you saw, it's an all refrigerator, that white one that I got, and I really wanted that. I wanted the extra capacity, and for that reason, we have a full size freezer out here, and the freezer is $440. We typically keep that garage door open once we have the mini split out here and it's tempered out here. This is just going to be an extension of the space, and I'm going to have my small appliances right here, the freezer, and this will kind of act almost like a butler's pantry for me out here. And then I don't know if you can tell, but half of the garage is painted. We did have to move in pretty quickly. I've only been able to move stuff in the garage to paint half of it, and I'm $100 in because the garage is unfinished. We did spend on primer, but we should have enough paint to finish the garage, and the paint out here is $100. Okay, we are now in the primary bedroom, and I don't have a ton to show you in here because I've only just begun up here. But so far for the primary bedroom, I have spent $250 in wallpaper, $58 on this fireplace. I had a bunch of Best Buy rewards for that. I put it towards it, and I only spent $58 on the remainder. And then $40 on painting half the room sage. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to do next in here, once I'm done wallpapering, I haven't finished wallpapering. This chair rail is going to go up between the wallpaper and the bottom of the between the wallpaper and the lower part of the wall. And then I am going to do crown molding in here as well. And this is going to end up being sage. And I think I'm going to color drench the door as well. And I'm really excited to get decorating in here and doing other things. But this is just one of the things that I hadn't gotten around to. I wanted to get the first floor done where I have guests over and I entertain and things like that and just be totally comfortable. We don't spend a ton of time in our rooms. This is definitely just for sleeping. We're definitely like a living room family. Getting that place sorted in the kitchen and everything like that was definitely more of a priority for us. Okay, this is one of the other rooms that I'm really excited about in my most recently finished room. I've hopped around between the primary room and this one because the primary room wallpaper, believe it or not, even though I spent $250, was actually half off. And then the cabinets that you are seeing in the laundry room go in and out of stock. They're the new unpainted ones from Home Depot, and they're such a good deal that they kind of float in and out of stock. I was going to do the laundry room first, but then the wallpaper in the primary bedroom went 50% off. And then obviously I got excited and I just wanted to see it, so I started it. And then these cabinets came back into stock, so I hopped over here and scooped them up. And then honestly, it's just been really nice having the extra storage as well, and then having the cabinet in between my machines. Before, it just kind of felt like a hollow, empty space, and we don't have a ton of storage in the house, so adding some in was definitely a priority. But getting into the numbers for the laundry room, the washer and dryer was $1,245, and that was on a Black Friday special, and that is installed as well. The cabinets for all three were $382. The paint for the cabinets was $45. That piece of countertop between the machines on top of that 9-inch cabinet was just scrap wood, and the contact paper to cover the scrap wood was $9. This shelf over the machines, which I think I'm going to paint, by the way, so don't judge that. This room isn't done. This is definitely one of the ones that you guys are going to see me do weekly updates on. The shelf for that is $43 from IKEA. The wallpaper is from Wayfair, the Kelly Clarkson collection, for $109. And then I did need to buy more wallpaper glue, and that was $30. And then the hardware on it was actually really affordable. I got it on Amazon for, I think those knobs were only $1.99 a piece, and then I think the cup was only $1.99 as well. But because it was just the laundry room and not the showpiece in the kitchen, I didn't feel the need to get luxury hardware. And then again, the flooring total is calculated in the total flooring cost, but this is new flooring in here as well. You guys, I'm so sorry. I just realized I stopped saying the totals of all the rooms. I'm so sorry. I think the last flooring total, I said the flooring total 1,117. The curtains were 175. So the living room total was 2,794. The kitchen was 4,346 and 14 cents. The garage was $1,413. The laundry room was $1,863. And now we are, oh wait, the primary the primary bedroom was $348. I'm so sorry. I've been telling you guys all these numbers and I've not been giving you totals. I'm so sorry. But we are in the playroom now, and I'm kind of hesitant to list everything out because there's just so many bits and bobs that go into the playroom. And it also evolved from a nursery into a playroom. So this is kind of totals for both. And we did have a crib, but I sold it. And I bought it on OfferUp and I sold it on OfferUp. So the price was kind of a wash. But yeah, there's just a lot of bits and bobs. There's the shelves, the stickers, the paint, the toys, the board, the magnetic boards, all that stuff hanging on the wall. But for the nursery cost and the transition to the playroom, we are at $720 for in here. And then another place that I'm not going to go out there because it's 114 degrees here in Las Vegas today is the backyard. And we do have an oversized lot, and that will come up more in my weekly videos for upgrading the house. But so far, we are in $410, and that has by far been my best budget in terms of maximizing how much work we've been able to do in terms of square footage. The amount of stuff we've been able to do outside for the price has definitely been the best deal in the backyard. But let me go ahead and get into the conclusion and give you guys the whole total for the whole house and break down more why I'm doing this. Okay, we have basically toured the whole house. The only things that are missing so far are the primary bathroom, the loft, and the closets. For I also have a guest bedroom, but I haven't spent any money in there yet at all. So guest bedroom, loft, primary bathroom, and then all the closets in the house except for the utility one downstairs. Those will come up, but I really want to wrap up every other room before I even start into a whole new space. And the loft, I want to get a bunch of cabinetry for crafting and things like that. That might end up being one of the more expensive rooms in the house. I just can't prioritize that right now. Okay, so now I got to give you the grand total of everything I have spent on the house. And drum roll, please. Everything has come out to $15,227. I was actually surprised. I genuinely thought I was closer to 10,000, but I mean, I did the math, I looked at it, and it really does all add up to that. I mean, I have things like a freestanding freezer, a freestanding fridge, a stove, a washer, a dryer, a couch. I have very large purchases like that included in all of this. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. I'm still a little bit taken back though, but I'm really happy. There's not really anything that I regret purchasing. Maybe I wish I would have slowed down, and that's kind of the purpose of why I'm breaking it into this series now, is because home upgrades is my favorite thing to spend money on. I don't really care about clothes, and my car is 10 years old, and I just don't care. Like, I just want to buy stuff for my house. I'm hoping by breaking it up into the series and doing small weekly micro upgrades, I can start to slow down, focus on the budget, and just make little tweaks here and there now that we've settled into the house. We moved in here March 2025, so we're about a year and a half into living here, and we have settled in really nicely. We love it here. We're very happy that we made the decision to move. And now that we got all the must haves, we're happy to just kind of take our time, not spend $15,000 in a year and a half to do things. But honestly, a good portion of it is done, and the rest I think we're going to have done by the end of this is 2026. I think we're going to be done by the end of next year. And it will be nice because the house that we lived in before this is new construction, so it's been a lot of cosmetic and decor and things like that. But the house we lived in before this was older. I think it was built in like 2007, so it needed new cabinetry and flooring, and it was dirty and things like that. And we lived there for 5 years, and we were constantly always doing something. And now we've been here for a year and a half. So me and my husband have kind of been in this phase where we've been doing home stuff for about 6 years, and we're definitely ready to just be done, have it decorated. That's why we were kind of excited about doing new construction, where we didn't really have to get into the nitty gritty of stuff. I could just focus on the pretty things and being comfortable. And now that we've kind of gotten off the ground, I'm just going to break it down into small weekly things, no more. Eventually, we'll do the loft and we'll get the cabinetry, and that will be like a large purchase. But what I was doing before for content was trying to do all of the living room and turn it, or the living room or the entryway or the closet or the powder room into like one start to finish video. And that's just not realistic for me anymore. It's going to take me months and months to finish the primary bedroom and pick out the bedding and take my time. And I want to spread that cost out over several months. And I just don't want to be in production of a video, if you will, for that long. I just want to kind of take you guys through the process of what I'm doing, how much I'm spending. And I started in Excel for all of this stuff. So when I have an idea that when I spend something and I add it, I'll kind of do like a cha-ching and add to the total and re-show you guys the new total for that space. But this will be like an ongoing journey as far as like how I feel like this ties into intentional living. For me, your environment is just so important. My home is important to me. This is where I come home and I feel safe. And now I work from home and I have a son, and I entertain now, and I want to have friends over and play dates, and my parents are coming over for dinner, and I just want to feel so cozy and I just want to love my home so much. And I have a passion for this stuff as well. And I want to do it on a budget. I don't want to just spend all the money in the world, but I still want it to look really good. Like, my goal is like, I want stuff to look like I hired a designer. Like, that's the goal. If somebody's like, wow, this looks really good, like, that is the part that makes me really excited. But I'm not going to spend like that bathroom downstairs. If I hired a designer for it, it would be $10,000, but I was able to do it for $1,000. I get really excited by that, and that's really the goal. And I just think your environment is so important, and living in a home that you love and that you're proud of really does a lot for your spirit. That's why it's in my intentional living is to do it on a budget and to curate my environment and build my dream home. To, to get a little bit on a tangent, I'm sorry if this video is dragging on for you guys, but another portion of it too is we live in it's 1,715 square feet, so 1715. And we are blessed enough, we love this house and it's a good size for us, but it's not the biggest home in the world. I think ideally in my dream, like I would probably have 2,500 or more square feet to be like really comfortable. But ultimately, me and my husband decided that we want to do the very best that we can to turn this home into our dream home. We do not want to keep scaling up in cost of home or square footage or anything like that. We wanted you guys have seen my decluttering videos. We want to declutter. We want to be intentional what we bring into the home, and we don't need more space. We don't need more. We ultimately want to be able to pay off this house and travel. We want to be able to go spend a month or two in Florida or go spend 3 weeks in Japan and do things like that. So if we're constantly scaling up our life and getting to the 2,500, 3,000 square foot home, like we're just not interested in that. If we come into the money and we are able to do the things that we really want to do and we can just happen to afford it, like maybe one of my ideas actually does something and I can make some money, or his career or something takes off and we're able to just do that and have our cake and eat it too, great. We're not going to like close the door on that if we just have the money. But at this time, we're not interested in really striving for that. Honestly, I don't want him to get to a point in his career where he is not around more or anything like that. We're not really striving for that kind of stuff right now. And I'm trying to make money on my own through content creation and starting my small businesses. I have apps and a bag with a patent and the t-shirt I design and things like that. So I'm trying to make money that way. And if I can make it on my own, and if I can make money in my own terms and make enough money to upscale our house, and that's done in a peaceful, cozy way, then I'm happy to do that. But I also don't want to be a slave to my businesses either, where I'm just constantly working 80 hours a week to keep my little to ship everything and keep all my stuff going. I'm sorry if that was a little bit of a tangent, but I just wanted to explain why I thought all this kind of tied into intentional living and why it's important. And I hope you guys are okay with me sharing the numbers, everything. I'm a numbers girl, especially I think if we're talking about budgeting and things like that, it's important to be transparent about what we're spending. I don't want you guys to see my home and be like, oh, dang, like that bathroom is really nice. She must have spent thousands on that. But she's over here trying to say, budget this, budget that, spend less, declutter. But honestly, it's not like that. I generally try to get the best possible price on every single little item I'm doing. I'm just trying to curate it and put it together in a way that looks luxurious and it has good presentation to it. And if there's anything in here on the list that you guys were like, why did you spend that much money on that? I would love to hear it. Please comment below. Let me know what you think would have been a good price for it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about $15,000 to decorate your house after a year and a half. I know that sounds crazy, but it's already done. I did it. I'll see you guys next week where we get into our first micro upgrade. If you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate you and have a good day.